All right, folks, let's get on the right camera. I just did a test with low light performance, which is stellar on the Z6III. But I decided to try this 650 gigabyte from ProMaster. That's the Velocity Type B CFExpress card. And after 3 minutes at 6K60, it just froze up. So with the younger sibling, which is the ProMaster, but I don't think it's a Velocity, it's a slower card. But it's also same company. A 325 gigabyte did 6 minutes, 6K60, out in the heat, 96 degrees, 97 degrees in Texas. No problem. I did 4K 120, 6K60. I think I did a 6K30 also. I'm not sure. But then I also did an HD 240. Okay? No problem at all with that card. I have a problem with the 650 gigabyte. So I put in 128 gigabyte, 2 SanDisks, and did some tests. They run perfectly. They're slower speeds, and they run perfectly. I says, yeah, but I don't want to carry 2 cards around. I just want to carry 1 card. So I remember this camera right here. This bad boy, which I haven't given much love. Aha! Z9. Okay. So, one of the perks I don't like, but I know why they did it, was push it down in order to pull out the drawer. Okay. Guess what? I had a 650 gigabyte, and I'll put that here, and another one, same thing. 2 velocities, same card, and let me make sure it's the same speed. Yeah. Yeah. I got to get my magnifying glass. And plus the fact I'm going to put it on this one. Okay, there we go. Uh, 1780. One that says it's finally snuck up in here. Let's get back here. Let's go to this one. Okay, so I put the original 24 millimeter back, the f1.8. So they're the same cards. There's one problem. The card that was giving me trouble, I don't know which one it is. So I'm going to put this in A, number 1. That's the older card. And the way you know it's the older card is it has lower serial number than this. So I think this is the card that was giving me trouble, the 2. I'm going to turn on the Z9. I already got it at 4K 160, all right? F4, I got the 24 to 120, but I'm going to run it at, 4K 60, all right? Full frame. And I'll be carrying this bad boy like this, so it's going to be tough, all right? But I'm going to go in the menu real quick to see. Yeah, okay. So it's going to destination number 2, all right? The reason why is I think this is the card that was giving me trouble. I'm going to start recording. All right. And I'm going to see how long it lasts. And first of all, I'm going to take the screen out. And I love this, okay? Let me go over here. Okay, I love this part. You know, you can go like that, swivel, go in here, there, do this number, whatever, okay? So, I got this, got it away, and I'm going to start recording right now. So I think this is the card that's giving me trouble. And it's recording, okay? And hopefully I haven't pressed anything wrong. Okay. Good. I think it's still recording. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'm looking at the bulb. Plus the fact that I just want to make sure it's not the camera. Okay. So it had another 650 gigabyte, but it's a Delkin Black. All right. So I took that card that was in there, took the bad card that was in here, has been giving me troubles with the Z6III, and I put it in the Z9. So if it crashes, then we know it's that card. So I have the two of the same brands, Velocity from ProMaster, 650 gigabyte, and the Z9 now. I'm going to turn this on, and this is at 4K 160 also, okay? And see, it's on. Oh, gotta do this. So this is the 24 to 70, which I did earlier today. And I'm going to start recording. And you see the little box, okay? So, you don't see me, and I'll do this real quick. Okay, go over here. Come on, focus. Okay. All right. So, I'm using this to see if it's still recording. Looks like it is. Looks like. See, that's the only bad thing is I don't know if it's recording. I do have a little device, and it's a test for both cameras. So I'm trying to see if it'll last 5 minutes, okay, with both cameras at 4K 60. This way I find out, well, is the camera overheating? Is it the card? Because I've written to the SD card on this Z6III. No problem. All right. It writes beautifully. Doesn't overheat. And I did like over 30 minutes or whatever when I was doing the drive from the camera store back home. No problem. And it was at 4K 30. But I've done 6K 60 on down. No problem with the SD card. I think I did the HD 240 on it also. Okay. But the test is to make sure, see if that card is failing. Okay. So I'm recording at the same time on the Z9. And of course I started the Z6III later, but I started this to begin with. Okay. My studio. So we're just going to see if this card fails and if the Z9 freezes up. So there's about 3 different tests. One is to see if it's the card. See if the Z9 can handle it. That's the second test. And the third test is we're going to find out if this card fails on this camera. Now I used the younger sibling, the 325 gigabyte, which I took out. I wanted more storage. So I wanted to make it fair. I used the SanDisk 128 gigabyte. And I put it in the Z6III. Okay. and then I thought, well, let me try the 650 gigabyte, and 3 minutes, it failed. Okay, so I'm just running these at 4K 60, and we'll see what happens. But this is still recording. I don't know if that's recording. So it failed on me at 3 minutes. So the Z6III I just turned on later. It's 3 minutes. It's probably on the Z9, 4 minutes. I'm going to pick it out. It's still recording. So I might have put in the wrong card. But I'm recording on a Z9 and it's a heavy, okay? So I might do something like this. You know, I just like prop it up a little bit. You know, just to keep it recording. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Oh, problems. Let's try it this way. Old-fashioned way. Jerry rig it. Okay. So it's still recording. I'll stop at 5 minutes with the Z6III. Okay. Yeah, I get about a minute to go. It's still recording on the Z9. So it may be the other card, but I'll finish it no matter what. When I finish this, I'll stop recording Z9 if it's still going. And then I'll switch it to disc 1 instead of disc 2, where it's writing the video file, okay? And we'll see what happens. Because this way I know that it also explains that maybe those cards work better on the Z9 than the Z6III, which means that it's a different drive. This camera has 2 CFExpress cards. Z6III has 1 SD card and 1 CFExpress card, type B. Okay? Maybe 2 completely drives. Maybe it runs better on the Z9. And if it does work, then what that tells me is there's nothing wrong with the drive. It's just that you can't put the faster type B cards in the Z6III. So come full circle, maybe none of the drives are wrong. It's just the speed of the drive, or of the, you know, for reading and writing. And this hasn't frozen up, so I'm going to turn off the Z6III, okay? 5 minutes and 40 seconds off. I'm going to turn it on, or turn it off. Looking at the Z9, still recording. And I'm going to turn this off, okay? So, we know the Z6III is doing good. Almost dropped it. Okay, now, destination, I'm going to go to 1. Okay, yeah. 6 minutes on slot 2, no problem. So it may be slot 1 where the bad card is. So I'm going to press that. Okay. Menu. Looks good. Now I'm going to turn it on. 4K 60. And I don't know. Yeah. So it's on. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Put it back here. Hopefully. And we'll just wait for another 5 minutes or so. That's if it doesn't, okay. Straighten everything up. And that may have to go back there. I like things situated where they're supposed to be. I don't know how I got that back in there. Okay, we'll just do it that way. So, last time it failed at me at 6K 60 at 3 minutes. I'm going to let it run for like 5 or 6 minutes. See what happens. If it crashes, it's the drive. If it doesn't crash, it's what I mean. It's the disc. Okay. So if it doesn't crash, then you can't put in fast. I think you can read. It's the writing part that's too fast or something, because it's freezing up the Z6III. So if this is 650 gigabyte CFExpress Type B card, makes it at 6 minutes at 4K 60, unless at a future date when I'm running one of these cards, it fails on me, then I know it's the card. So apparently the Z9 is doing great. And I'm looking at it. Turn up the tilty screen. That's still recording. And it's at 2 minutes. Okay. So it's recording me. And what I'm going to say to Mr. Z9 here is like, okay, I'm rooting for you. If both drives can write at 4K 60 for 6 minutes without stopping, whereas on the Z6III it failed, but yet when I've used 3 different other types of cards, one is your younger sibling, 325 gigabyte, it worked fine. But they were all at slower speeds. So you, buddy, if you pass within the next 3 minutes without, going bonkers, where I have to pop the battery out, then the drive is okay. It's just that, or I should say the disc is okay. It's just that your system is better than the Z6III, and you can take the faster Type B cards, okay? So I haven't had any failures with the Z6III with 3 different types of cards. And I just put a 650 in the Z6III Type B. So we'll see what happens. This is a Delkin Black in the Z6III. It passed. So number 1, which was the newer card, or I should say number 2 drive disc, passed. Now I'm doing disc 1. Okay. So that's the older card. And that might have been the card that was failing. So I'm recording all this. It's still recording fine. And I got 2 minutes to go. So let's look at some other stuff. She didn't like me walking around, so she moved away, unfortunately. This camera's working. My overhead is working. And I'm going to bring this back right here to 0. Okay. And why is it not straight? Okay. This is what I have to do. Okay, now I got to center. I'm always doing stuff like this, people. I'm sorry. Got to get it going good. There we go. Now I'm going to this all the way back. All right. I know it's boring, but I got to do what I do because this is what I do. So I'm testing the Z9. It should be 5 minutes. It has 1 minute to go. Okay? So I'm going to drink a coffee. You're going to watch me. I'm going to put up my magnifying glass. Comes in handy. I got 4 of them over here. So if I misplace one, I got 3 more to go. So I'm looking down at you, Mr. Z9. Oh, by the way, I have the 24 to 120 f4 on the Z9. I have the 24 to 70 f4 on the Z6III. Oh, and the 28 to 400 f4 to f8 is on the Z8. Okay, I got 3 of the big zooms, all right, on 3 major cameras. And on the 2 ZFs that I have the 28 millimeter and I have the 40 millimeter. Okay. So I got the classic looks on the ZFs, and then I got the zooms on the top 3. Anyway, long story short, still recording, and it's been 7 minutes. That's it. So, what do I gather from this test? It's a short test. It's not like 30 minutes like I usually do and stuff like that. It may be the drive itself. So the drives are better on the Z9 than on the Z6III. I've had problems with this camera, Z6II, and the Z7II. When running to the CFExpress card, it overheated. Now, the Z6II lasted better than the Z7II. I guess that's because of the higher megapixels. It just heated up warm. And I had the Z7II in my setup just for about, 45 minutes, whatever. And then I go to sleep, all right? Saying it's overheating and it turned itself off. With these cameras, they kind of go to sleep, but you just hit the shutter button and they wake up. Canon, it doesn't go to sleep, it just turns off the LCD screen, right? So you hit the shutter button and the LCD screen comes back on. I don't know if it's a power feature or if it keeps it from overheating. I don't know. But it's funny how different companies do different things. So what I learned, I got the 2 650 velocities working good. One recorded 6 minutes, the other one recorded 7 minutes. And then I got the Z6III, which recorded the first 5 minutes, okay? So if I don't use the velocity 650 gigabytes and just use like the Delkin, which is a 650 gigabyte, but I think it's a slower card than the velocities, okay? And since I'm thinking about it right now, let me look at the right. Oh, that's SD card, wrong one. Okay, this is the Delkin Devices Black. And it doesn't tell me the speed or anything. It's okay, no problem. But it worked, all right? And I'm happy. It didn't freeze. So, when I use this tomorrow on some more tests, because I'm not done with the Z6III, I am going to do some more F-mount. And I'm going to be recording on the Leica M8 because I'm going to use the 180 millimeter and the 300 millimeter f4 F-mount lenses with an adapter on the M8 and see how those pictures are. They work pretty good with the 50 millimeters I had in the 1.2, 1.4, the Zeiss. My favorite lens is the 24 millimeter f2.8. Go figure. All right. Well, I like street photography. All right. I do have the 35 millimeter Zeiss Distagon. Okay. And it's a f2, I believe. Fantastic. Beautiful lens. Manual focus. All right. But beautiful lens. But it's too big for street photography. I want kind of like a pancake size. So I'm looking at other 35 millimeters. And now since I have an adapter, which, you know, from the Nikon F to Leica M, I also have an adapter to the L mount, Panasonic, Sigma, Leica, you know, for their big cameras. I can interchange the lenses between the whole Leica or the L mount. Well, Leica M mount is a different story. It's just cameras or photos. But I can interchange stuff. I just proved on the this camera, Z6III, with the Megadapt ETZ21 Pro adapter, I can use any Sony lens on that camera with autofocus, APS-C or full frame, and it'll work great. So enough ranting. The test is over. I'll put up another video with the Z9 and the Z6III, and I'll speed it up a little bit, you know, to make it more interesting. Maybe put a little music to it. But just to show you, it's working great, okay? And I still got to put up one more, well, two more. One is putting the fans on the computer. See if the temperatures go down on the CPU. They're more pressurized, but they might be more noisy. And the other one is besides the ZV-1, which I'll finish tomorrow, comparing that to the Q3, 60 megapixels against 12 megapixels. What was it? Well, anyway, I'll remember it. I'll do it tomorrow. And so you have like another 3 or 4 videos from me. I'm sorry. I'm full of ideas. I want to do a lot of testings and stuff. So thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Sorry for the rant, but I hope this was helpful, okay? Have a good one.